like where does your musical journey start? Like what was the first instrument you started to play? Like how did you first start getting into music?
I got into it pretty late. It didn't really connect with me for a long time. I played recorder like everybody did, right?
Yeah.
And then like I tried clarinet in 4th grade and a little saxophone in 5th grade. Didn't really stick with it. I just played like kind of those years a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I played Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero was fun. It kind of opened me up to a lot of music.
No way.
Right? And
Nick said the same thing to me when we were talking about
really?
this. He said Guitar Hero was huge for him, and I think Doug maybe too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you talked to Doug about that.
I swear to God, dude, like Guitar Hero was vital for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like just inspiring a lot of people to play, introducing them to a lot of like cool music.
Yeah.
For teenagers at that time, I think it was, it made an impact.
Yeah.
I played Guitar Hero and it introduced me to a lot of cool music. I didn't play real guitar at the time. I got a real guitar at the time. I learned how to play a few songs. I didn't love it at the time. And I was just like, okay. For a while, I just kind of wrote it off. Like, I guess like music's not really my thing. I'll find my thing one day.
Yeah.
And then I went to college, right? And it was like, 2 years in college. Everybody had hobbies. I didn't necessarily have like a ton of hobbies, right? And I was like, okay, you're finding your identity in college. And I decided to just buy an electronic drum set. I'm like, I'm going to try this, and it'll be fun. And so I had fun with it, right? I would just, there was like an input on the drum set where you can plug in headphones and you could plug in like an iPod or something. So you can listen to your music, whatever you want to listen to, but you can also hear the, sounds of the electronic drum kit. So I would just sit there hours and hours and hours a day just playing along to my favorite records.
Oh, okay.
That's how I learned.
Oh my gosh. Wait, are you self-taught? You never took lessons?
After a couple years, I tried lessons. I was seeing this guy for lessons for a while, and I wasn't into it at the time. It just wasn't necessarily what I needed at the time. So I would be having fun because that's why I played. I had no intention of doing anything with it.
Yeah.
I was just having fun.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. And he was trying to teach me like techniques and stuff. You got to learn your rudiments. You got to learn this and that. Looking back on it now, yes, I understand why he was doing that. But
yeah.
I spent the whole time like basically like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I doing this? There wasn't a complete understanding of why I was learning this.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm good. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to take lessons.
Yeah.
Then when I got to a certain point of skill, I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to learn this now.
Yeah.
But it's not what I was willing to hear at the time. And so, so I stopped seeing a teacher and just kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because I think like the most powerful way of learning something is having fun and not stopping and being into it.
Yeah.
And if I just, at that time, just kind of went through the stuff that I thought was boring, I probably would have just gotten frustrated and stopped.
Yeah. That's wow.
I needed to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's how I got better.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to sound so silly, but like there's a reason why we call it playing an instrument, right? Or like if you're on stage or in a play, I mean, if you're not having fun, I feel there needs to be a play element, I think, or else it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to experience from the outside looking in if there isn't like a playful aspect.
I think that's the best way to get good at something.
Yeah.
Is to have fun with it.
Yeah.
It's not stressful. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
If it feels like work, you're operating on sheer willpower, and that you'll get tired at some point.
Yeah. What were you studying in college, by the way?
I went there, when I started going there, I studied business management. That's what I got my degree in, business management.
Oh, okay.
But at some point I picked up a minor, which was music industry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Wow, which is probably served you, I guess, now that you're kind of doing
there were
your
some
own
classes in there that helped. Like in college, like not every class you take you're going to end up using. In fact, most I probably don't.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But there were some things that helped. Actually, like what resonated with me the most was like 2 classes in particular. I mean, I took like music business classes, which comes into play a little bit, but predominantly in my life, I took a class on audio devices and I took a class on logic.
Oh, okay.
And they were both taught by the same professor, David Cottrell. And he's a very, very serious, focused man that I just respected so much. And he was just one of these professors that you want to impress.
Yeah.
You want to make him feel proud or approve of you. And he has he composed for National Geographic. He has 2 Emmys. And
Oh, no way.
yeah. And so he taught both those classes. And I really, really focus
Wow.
in those classes.
Yep.
And it really serves me today. Those
Yep.
2 classes probably served me the most today.
Wow. And yeah, there's that little bit of play again too, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is fascinating to me. This is something that I enjoy. And then
Yeah.
you're locked in just because it's not work at that point.
Yep.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
See, I think when it comes to, and again, you would know this better than I think most people, but I think it's got to help so much if you've got somebody teaching you how to use an audio interface and how to mix things. Because, I mean, I've talked to people who learned it just by watching YouTube videos, and God bless them. But
Great way to learn.
Well, for me, not for me, because I've tried to do it a couple times. Just when I was trying to record and mix stuff with a buddy of mine, long distance, really just more for writing purposes. But I'm sure you get this, but it's like you go down rabbit holes of like, oh, how do these things sound? But all the YouTube videos I watched, I could not figure out how to get things. Or maybe I just didn't watch the right videos. So I don't know. I think
my experience with YouTube is take it with a grain of salt. Not everything is great advice.
Yeah. Well, and also I think the problem, and it's not like the problem with YouTube per se. I think it's the problem, or one of the things that you might run into of being self-taught. If you're not having fun, like you're talking about, then you're just sort of like grabbing at anything that you think is going to help you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the problem with going to a landscape where there's too many options, like YouTube, you don't know what to focus on. And you don't like for me, for instance, it's like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to mix guitar and vocal together so that we can try to write songs together. And I don't know if I should be watching things about EQ or if I should be watching things about just slapping something together that's just workable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you could watch a 10-minute video on one thing and it might not be helpful.
And a lot of these videos are contradictory. They'll tell you advice that contradicts, right? It's just like some will say you got to scoop a lot of sounds, right? Lower the mids. And some will say you got to boost the mids, right? So it's just like, what do I listen to?
Yeah.
And just like you end up following all this advice and you end up just really making a mess out of things, because you just don't know what the right thing to do is. And I think the best thing is just use your ears. You know what you want to hear. You know what you want to hear. Listen to your mix. Listen to it on the phone. Listen to it on headphones. Listen to it in your car. Reference it with songs that you like and see what the differences are, right?
Yeah.
What do I actually need to work on, right? Am I spending too much time focusing on shit that doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that can be intimidating too if you're like, oh, I can just go online and teach things for myself. But there is so much information out there.
Yeah.
And again, it's not even that there's so much bad information per se, but it's information without a context, right? So it's kind of like
everything
you're
is
saying.
contextual. It's just like, you have let's say you're EQing a snare drum or something, and in the video they're like, you got to boost this frequency and blah, blah, blah. But they're boosting that snare drum that they have in their project there.
Yeah.
You have a different snare drum, right? It's a different microphone. It's a different recording. It's a different tone. It could be a different pitch, different frequencies we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
Or you could have more hi-hat or less hi-hat in their bleed, in the bleed. And so you're dealing in a different context. So if you do the exact same thing that they do with the EQ, you're going to get a different result.
Yeah. That's so fascinating. But it makes so much sense too, because I think there's a lot of us out there. And you think about YouTube, which is actually, I don't know if you've heard this statistic, but 80% of YouTube users are men. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I think it's actually really fascinating because I didn't know this either, but statistically speaking, men kind of tend to prefer nonfiction and women tend to prefer fiction.
In terms of literature?
Yeah, in terms of reading books and things like that. And it's not like, oh, so that means men only like, there's always exceptions to the rule, right? But just statistically speaking.
You can't generalize,
Yeah, you can't generalize everything. But it's like,
Yeah.
how men are generally taller and women are generally shorter.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
exceptions, but,
Yeah.
it's things like that. But but if you think about YouTube, it's most of its content is nonfiction, right? It's like how to do things, how to learn things, or podcast interviews and things like that. Where things like TikTok and Instagram, it's more about curating like a little story. And so those TikTok and Instagram are heavily more female users. Why am I telling you all these things? Because I think when it comes to YouTube, and I find myself struggling with this too, a lot of us guys, like, we're like, oh my God, I want to learn how to do this thing. So I'm going to go on and I'm going to watch this video and it's going to tell me the step-by-step thing that I need to do to get X result.
Yeah.
And then I'll be good.
Yep.
And it's like, sound engineering? No, it's not going to work that way. Or like,
Not
or
quite.
even learning how to play an instrument even, I think to some extent.
I was using YouTube a lot when I was learning how to play drums. And
Yeah.
I experienced a lot of contradictory information. It almost prepared me for the world of audio engineering a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody is interested, say somebody's out there and they're like, hey, like, I am interested in kind of getting in audio engineering. Like, I love listening to different types of music. I'm really interested in different types of sounds. What would your recommendation be to them if they wanted to get into that? Like, what would you say to them?
Well, number one, have fun.
Yeah.
Right? Have fun with it, because making music, it's better when it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? And that will take you to the next step. Like, it's exciting to learn something new and go to the next step. And I'd say number two, your ears are the most important thing, right? It's just like, you can follow all the advice in the world, right? And, that might work for that person or that mix. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the mix that's in front of you right now.
Yeah.
And you want to make the most out of what you have in front of you right now.
Yeah.
Right? And so take it with a grain of salt. There's great information out there, but it all has to be in context, right? With what you're doing and the sounds that you have.
Would you recommend somebody try to learn from somebody kind of like you did? Or
I say it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps to, learn from somebody with experience. But, my experience with like mentors myself is quite limited. I mean, I had Cottrell, he was my professor.
Yeah.
And he was great, but he was just a professor. It's not like I was like with him all the time.
And he wasn't necessarily giving you one-on-one feedback all the time.
I would go to his office hours, right, here and there, but it wasn't all the time.
And not a lot of students do that either.
Yeah.
So
And he was wonderful, right?
yeah.
But he was a busy guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to work with basically one other mentor in my life, which was Don Zientara. Do you know about him?
I don't know.
He's in the
I don't
area.
think so. Okay.
He's a wonderful man, and he's had a very, very accomplished career. He recorded Fugazi.
Oh, okay.
Right, and he recorded the hardcore bands of like the 80s and the 90s in the DC area.
Wow.
Minor Threat, Bad Brains, those types of bands, and then but it continued after that. He recorded like the Walkman. It's this huge list of just incredible history that he's worked with.
Yeah.
And he's in the area, and he still works out of his basement. And
No way.
yeah, and his big studio, it just closed down like a couple years ago around
no.
COVID or something. But no, it was just the area was getting bought out, whatever. But he moved back into his basement, and he's still doing work out of his basement. And I was lucky enough to just be there with him, sit in on sessions, and learn from him, learn his techniques, and just psychologically like his approach. And it was invaluable. Like,
wow.
I'll always be thankful for that. And I still talk to him. Like, I'll still email him.
No way.
I'll still go and see him sometimes. Right?
How did you meet him?
I knew about him in the area, and one day he came, and he performs, right? So he performed at Epicure.
Oh my gosh.
I think he performed. Yeah, he performed at Epicure.
Wow.
And I came up to him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get into audio engineering. I was wondering if I, can talk to you sometime." And he's like, "Yeah, call into the studio, and we can set up a meeting." Right?
Wow.
He's that kind of guy.
That's amazing.
You can call him up. He's that kind of guy.
Holy cow.
And he's happy to talk.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, yeah, if you want to sit on some sessions, you can kind of watch me do my thing.
Well, I started paying to, work with him.
Nice.
Because I'm paying for his time.
Yeah. It's like taking lessons.
And then there were a couple sessions that he let me sit in on.
Wow.
And it was wonderful to see all that work. And it really it helped me prepare for what I'm now doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is very cool. And so he's still recording in the area, and he's just still doing the thing, as far as you know.
Still doing it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Would you say, how would you say somebody like helps practice develop their ear to kind of get better, like having a better ear? Is there a way that you could practice to have a better ear?
Yeah. Listen to things that you like. You know, everybody has music that they like, or a mix where they're like, this mix is special to me. I just like the way this sounds, right?
Yeah.
And you can't always explain why, but you're like, I like this mix, or I like this album, I like this band, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to approach a sound like that, A/B the mix, right? Literally, like, take your mix, match the volume with the mix that you like, A/B them, and then think, what's the difference? What could be better? What's missing? What's not enough? And then take the steps to approach it.
Yeah. Wow. Would you say, how do you know, like, let's say I'm listening to a song and I'm like, dude, like this song, it's always had a special place in my heart and I just love the way it sounds. How do you know if what you like about the sound has to do more with the music or more about the production? Like, how do you, I don't know.
It gets psychological at that point.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Or maybe I'm kind of asking the wrong question. Maybe that's not a good question.
Well,
But
I think it's more of a philosophical question that you're bringing up here. I think. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, is it the bass frequencies, or is it just the way they played?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That all comes into play.
Yeah.
Right? You know, or is it the lyrics?
Yeah.
Right. And I think, like, you know, to a degree, it's all of it probably.
Yeah.
Right. But also, like, understanding, you know, doing your best, and you know, maybe it just takes time to develop, but understanding, like, what you like about something.
Yeah.
Is it the production? Is it the recording? Is it the mix? Is it the lyrics? Is it the tones? Right?
Yeah.
Or is it the performance? Right? What is it about? And there's just so much to unpack there.
Yeah.
Right? You know, there's so much to unpack there.
It's tough for me when I think about these things because I'm such a big picture type of guy, and I don't mean that as like some kind of bragging thing. I just mean
I think
like,
most of us are big picture kind of people because we just like the results,
yeah,
and that's what we hear.
yeah,
Right?
I guess let me rephrase this. I don't really have a good sense of attention to detail. So like when I like something or I approach something, I'm always thinking about it from like a bird's eye view, and then somebody like you or other people will tell me, oh, like this little thing or this little thing is giving these things. And it's like, wow, like I didn't even think about that. And sometimes for me, since I don't really have that attention to detail, I kind of like thinking of things like in their context, kind of how they exist in their ecosystem, even rather than maybe all of the specific parts.
Yeah.
I miss those things. And so like, I think about that sometimes when I'll hear like a song and I'm like, oh, I guess I just don't really like it because it's like a pop song. But then I'll hear a pop song the next day that I just absolutely love. And I'm like, why? Like, I feel like the bass and other things sound the same. Is it the melody or maybe, no, maybe it was the way that it was mixed or something about it that is catching my ear. And I just don't even know why.
It's hard to identify sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't always identify it. Right?
Really?
Sometimes it's unexplainable.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's just, like, I don't know why. It just, you know, it gives me a feeling like, you know, sometimes it's unexplainable, right? You know, and I think these little details that come into play, like how you record something, how it's mixed, or like how much, you know, the frequency spectrum, like how that's mixed, that all matters. But at the end of the day, the thing that matters most is the big picture. What is the result that we got? How is this everything together going to impact a potential listener?
Yeah.
That's what we're working for. That's the thing that really, really matters.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's like you can have amazing little details on everything, but the big picture can just make absolutely no sense still.
How important do you think it is for a band to know, or it doesn't have to be a band, it could be an artist, to know what they want to do overall, maybe emotionally, with a song when they're coming in to record? Because I think a lot of us were like, oh, hey, like we need to record some of the stuff that we've written. So we're just going to go and do our best and try to get a good take on all that stuff. But like what you're saying, and I think this is actually really important, at least I think about this a lot in sort of the dramatic contents because I went to school for theater and I think about like a story, right? And the whole story has to come together at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not about like one actor doing an amazing job.
Exactly.
It's about everybody putting on a great production.
So like how would you say how would you say like we should approach that, like as artists coming in to record a song, especially if it's like multiple people having contributions? How can we sort of get on the same page, and or what's something that we should try to think about when it's like, okay, like maybe we need to think about the overall impact of this song? What are your thoughts on that?
It's all like it's very, very important, I think. And like I have bands that come in that don't necessarily have an idea, and that's fine, right? It's just like
I think most of us kind of don't sometimes, because we're kind of caught in the weeds, and we're
that's
like,
fine. Sometimes you're not
need to get
quite
something
sure.
recorded, you know.
And if they need help in that regard, I will do whatever I can to, help guide through it based on my experience, right? Not every band has like a complete vision. I think probably most don't.
Yeah.
Right? And so if that's the case, and some bands come in like they're ready for that, but I think like, it's quite relatable. It's a relatable feeling. Like I have this song, but like I'm having trouble thinking of the big picture. And I do whatever I can to really, really understand what it is we're going for, even if they don't understand it yet. And I think it really helps to really dive into what you like sonically and what you are going for sonically, but also emotionally.
Yeah.
Like what is this song about? What are the emotions? Are we going on a journey? Or are we being crazy and aggressive? Or am I expressing like vulnerability and loneliness? All of that is really, really helpful for somebody like me, because I can approach the recording process in a way where like just keeping that in mind, we're going for this type of mood and these type of tones.
Yeah.
And so like having that kind of understanding and a vision really, really helps. And if somebody doesn't have a complete understanding, also like references really, really help me. I take references very, very seriously. If a band tells me, I like this album, I like this song, I like these types, I like these mixes, I listen to it, and it just helps me attune myself to what your ears want to hear. Yeah. And I try to respect that as best I can.
Yeah. And I think what you're saying is something that I think we all really, us bands kind of really all need to, and artists in general too, like we all need to kind of try to think about too, because I think I've heard this like in the music industry, it really helps to have like, it sounds kind of cringy, like a mission statement or something where it's like, who are we and what are we what exactly are we saying with our music and what are we trying to do? And it can be tough because there's so many bands out there and a lot of us like the same sorts of things. Yep. So a lot of us end up coming up with bios that are kind of generic and stuff. And so it's like, and I'm talking about like us, like Nick and I were talking about this in the car on the way to practice yesterday.
Sure.
We were like, we really need to come up with a nice pithy bio, but something that really is speaking to something that is unique about us.
Yes. I think that's
what I mean?
Important.
And so I just like, and I want that for all these bands that I talk to and that I interview and stuff, because there's so much talent in this area, and it just drives me crazy that all these artists like are not getting any attention. I said this to a couple other, I was saying this to Doug when he was over here and we were talking, but like I've seen people play at open mics that we've ran into each other open mics, and they're doing these incredible things. And it's like, how do you not have some sort of record deal? Like it's almost like a crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't blame that on anybody out there. Like I'm not blaming the music industry or anything. I'm looking at this sort of as like a forward-looking thing. I'm not like, oh, the system is corrupt, and it might be. That's not really what concerns me. What concerns me right now is what can we do to help get each other's attention and help each other figure out what's my brand, what's my mission statement? What's my thing that I'm giving to the world? Because this goes back to the thing that I was saying before, like there's no such thing as boring conversations. Maybe you're the boring one in the conversation if you think you're having a boring conversation. And so if every person, and I do believe this, like there's something unique inside of them that if we can capture that, you've got something that's irreplaceable, but also can resonate. So I don't know, like, where am I
100%.
Where am I? I don't know where I'm going with all this, but
I think I know where you're going with this, right? 100% I agree. Your band is Chay Vicious.
yeah,
Chay Vicious.
yeah.
Right?
Well, this is kind of funny.
I have a tendency to call it Chay Vicious.
Well, I even said to the guys, because I'm a late join member. I'm a late to the band. And I was like, hey, maybe we should start saying Chay Vicious, because then you get this like alliteration type of thing. I don't know. And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
Your band is Chay Vicious, right? And you have these influences. You have all these bands that you guys like.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to list them, but like you guys know what you guys like.
Yeah.
And that influences your sound, right? But you are not those bands.
Yeah.
You are not those people in those bands. You have a different life experience than the people in those bands that make you uniquely you. You live in a different era from those bands oftentimes, and you have something different to bring to the table than they did.
Yeah.
What they did was wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
And great.
Yeah.
But you have an opportunity to take that and to make it yours.
Yeah.
And I think that is so, so important. I think, it can be disappointing to see a band that has so much, and I'm not talking about you guys, but like see a band it's very obvious that's like, you're trying to be XYZ.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I struggled with this for the longest time when I was learning how to sing better with my vocal coach. And she was like, you're never going to sound like as good as if you are trying to sound like you.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for me because I didn't like the sound. And I still sometimes don't like the sound of my own voice.
That's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
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 I was practicing singing, right? And I went through the process of learning how to sing. I would always try to sing like Lou Reed or like Julian Casablancas or something.
Yeah.
And because it's like similar range.
Yeah.
And I had to get away from it.
Yeah.
Or, the same thing can be applied to music production, right? Like, I can model my approach exactly like how Rick Rubin does it, right?
Yeah.
But I'll never be Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
If I continue that route, the best I can hope to be is a second-rate version of Rick Rubin. What he does is incredible, and his approach is very unique.
Yeah.
But I have to do this the best way. That's me.
Yeah.
And
you'll never be
I think
him.
that's what creates the best work.
Yeah. And to say that you'll never be him, it's not like, oh, Mike, you're not good enough, you'll never be him.
No, it's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but there will be a Mike-sized hole in the universe if you don't be you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
or there will be a Dave-sized hole in the universe.
Exactly.
If you don't just be you.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing for every artist.
Yeah.
And every band.
Yeah.
You don't have to be exactly like somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're you.
Yeah. And also, like, the world doesn't want another carbon copy of some other person that's great. They want something different.
Yeah.
So you really are better.
And
off
we can learn from great artists, and we ought to learn from great artists.
Yeah. So how do we? I know obviously we can square this circle, but and you gave a great piece of advice too, like A/B something, like listen to it and then see how close you can get to it.
Yeah.
How do you do that while also trying to develop your own unique style when it comes to mixing and all of that?
Gravitate towards sounds you like. Experiment, right? Like mess around, have fun.
Sure.
Right? It's the same thing when I was learning to play drums. I was just messing around with bands that I like, beats that I like, and just having fun.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like learning how to be a painter. I often use this analogy. It's like painting, right? You're just trying things, messing around, and your canvas is what's coming out of your speakers, right? And you just try things. You just paint. And it doesn't have to be amazing off the bat.
Yeah.
You're trying things, and then all of a sudden, like, the more you do it, the more you learn. The more you try different techniques, all of a sudden, like, the pictures start revealing themselves a little more clearly.
How do you know, or I guess like when you are trying to say learn from an artist, like you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, okay, I'm trying to replicate this so I can kind of like learn how to get better. How do you avoid the pitfall of just like copying, I guess? Or is that maybe just a different stage? Maybe there's a certain stage where it's like you need to imitate.
It's a very similar thing, I think, to like, how do you avoid the pitfall of copying a singer?
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what I mean, because I know, like, and this goes for acting too, like when you're acting, especially like young actors, like a great thing to do is just like imitate other people. That's like a fun thing to do, like do imitations of people. And actors still do that. It's such a fun thing to do.
It's a little bit easier to do.
Brian's a great example.
Brian is fantastic.
It depends. It depends on what you mean by easier, because some people really have a knack for it. But I'm kind of digressing.
I'm only going because my experience is like it was easier for me to sing like somebody than to just find my own voice.
Well, that's a whole other conversation too about getting comfortable in your own skin, which like,
yep.
I don't know about you, but it's like I still am learning how to do that, right? Like, yeah.
I think like in a way, I don't know if it'll ever stop, right? Like we're all as artists on a journey. And we're always evolving. It'll never be complete.
Yeah. Okay, so like kind of going back to the singing analogy, because I think it's a good one. I think like a lot of us at the outset, especially like when we're learning how to sing, you just have to learn how to sing songs, A, that you like, and B, that you can sing. And so obviously the imitation is going to happen.
Yes.
That's going to happen in the early. Yeah. But like at some point there needs to be of like a breakaway of like, okay, you have to start leaning into this thing that you just kind of do. And yeah, maybe you're not going to sound with your type of voice, you're not going to sound like Eddie Vedder. Like a guy like me is not going to sound like Eddie Vedder. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, what am I asking here? I'm asking like, you want to imitate. Maybe there's things.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
First, you have to learn the ropes, right?
Okay.
You have to learn how to sing first.
Sure.
Right? And it's just like, and it helps to, if there's a singer that you like and that's in a similar range as you, it helps to sing their songs.
Yeah.
Because you learn, okay, this is what they're doing, like physically with their body.
Yeah.
Like this is what they're doing. And I want to come to understand how they're achieving this tone.
Yeah.
Right? And then once you reach a certain point, it's important to break away from it. Like, oh, okay, I understand that this is what Eddie Vedder was doing, but I think I would do it this way. You know, I can make a creative choice to do something differently.
Yeah.
Rather than an ignorant choice, like I just don't know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think like, don't avoid trying to understand what great people have done before you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Understand what they did. That's part of the process.
Yeah.
Understand what they did and then bring you into the conversation. Once you understand what they've brought to the conversation, bring you to the conversation.
Yeah. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It almost seems like, I don't know if it's different tiers per se, but that makes a lot of sense. Do you feel like, if you're experimenting with your own ears and experimenting with sounds and mixing things, do you feel like you kind of have to listen to lots of different types of music or listen to different types of artists? Is that something you would recommend? Do you think that's kind of irrelevant? How does that, do you feel like you have to have a wide breadth of taste to kind of be, kind of get into sound engineering? Like, how does that all fit into this?
I don't think so. You can drive yourself crazy just listening to music all the time. And
sure.
And there's always going to be more.
Oh my God.
You can spend all your time doing that.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
At a certain point, like, I have things that I listen to in my own time, right? For fun, things that I like.
Yeah.
And I also try to pay attention to like what's new. Has somebody done something like new? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, as a producer, somebody walks into my door, right? They have a vision in their head. And my job is to not take what they want to do and make it mine or something I like.
Yeah.
My job is to bridge the gap between their vision and what's coming out of the speakers, right?
Yeah.
And use everything I have, my resources, to make that happen. And that's it, right? And everybody is different. That's why I take references very, very seriously.
I see.
Everybody is different. And like, you guys are different, and I record you in a way where I think like we're approaching a sound that would make sense and what you guys would like, but it would be completely different for an artist. And I think like what I've thought about recently is like, as a producer, I yearn to just be invisible, right? And it might sound weird. I yearn to be invisible because I'm not interested in putting my fingerprint on somebody else's art. I'm bringing what they want and what's in their head out of the speakers.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's completely different approach. Like if it's like a band like you guys or a rapper or a synth pop artist.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
The approach is completely different. And I do what I can
Yeah.
to approach and respect that sound. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not putting my fingerprint on this.
Yeah.
That's not what you're here for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's important for me to be able to respect that and like to get to a point where like, okay, like you wouldn't be able to tell it was me because it's all completely different. That's a great place for a producer. I think a great place for a producer to be is invisible.
I see. So like if we were to say, look at your resume of tracks and listen to them and be like, oh my gosh, it sounds like a
I would
completely different person.
love it to be like you wouldn't be able to tell.
Wow.
Right? It's like every new artist and like more and more artists have been coming in, luckily, knock on wood.
Yeah.
A lot of them have different tastes.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody comes in where it's like it's different than anything I've done before.
Yeah.
And to that I say, fuck everything I've done in the past. We are doing this now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to consciously focus on approaching what we're going for here.
Yeah.
And it could be completely different than anything I've done in the past.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. And it's almost like you're encountering the person or persons. And it's like, who are you and how do we capture a little bit of that?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
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 What's in your head?
Cool.
What's in your head and how can I bridge the gap between that and the speakers?
Wow. Yeah. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
This is making me think about like, this could actually be a great exercise. Thinking about sort of figuring out what each artist is bringing to the table in a unique way to kind of help us all, I don't know, maybe learn what our type is or maybe how to market ourselves a little bit better or maybe even figure out what it is our message is. Because I think, like you said, I think this actually goes hand in hand with learning to be more authentically you, which is a lifelong process.
Yes.
I'm like grasping at multiple strands here. That's a lifelong process to learn how to be more uniquely you, but also figuring out what that even is. What are thinking about some of the artists that you've recorded, just as, let's say, an innocent bystander trying to capture what's in their head and bring it out on the speakers. Maybe we can talk about a little bit of just as an audience member, what you feel some of the art, like the emotions and some of the feelings that you are, some of the, I can't find the word of it, but like, what's the impact that it had on you listening to them do their thing? And so I'm trying to think so who are some of the people that you've recorded so far that we can talk about? Because you did Hungry Bug.
I did Hungry Bug.
You did Doug. You did
Careless
Flight. You've worked with us. Who else have you? Because I know that people have used your space and you haven't necessarily mixed them, or you have mixed them, or.
Yeah, but all of that stuff comes into play, even if they're just recording, like in the recording process.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Especially if you're watching them.
Yeah.
Record.
Yeah.
Actually,
like when somebody, because I'll often host live sessions. Like a band will come in. Like,
that's right.
We want to do something live.
Yeah.
Right? We want to do everything all at once. I'm like, okay. So I set up everything, and I set up everything in kind of like a relative place. I check with everybody. Do you like the drum tones? Do you like the guitar tones? Do you like the bass tone? Right. And then, and oftentimes Pablo will be there and we'll just hit record and they'll play. And it's the first time I'm experiencing the song.
Yeah.
It's right there live when I'm in the studio there.
Oh, so you feel like that happens more often than not, that you get to have a live take?
It's been happening pretty often recently. Like,
That's very cool.
a lot of bands like doing things live,
That's awesome.
right? Rather
That's
than
so
just
cool.
doing things all at once. And there is something to be said about recording a band live and getting instant results, right? It's a different thing than just like doing things all at once. And I've gotten great results doing things, in pieces and live. It's just a different thing. It's a creative
100%.
choice.
Yeah, yeah.
But the moment I hit record and they're playing the song live, I'm paying attention to like the inputs, making sure like things don't clip or whatever. But I'm predominantly an audience member when that's happening. And I'm like, I'm just feeling what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm hearing for the first time what the band sounds like.
Yeah.
And the instrumentation, I'm like, oh, sometimes like it'll remind me of something. I'm like, oh, it reminded me of something really, really cool. Are you guys going for something like this? Sometimes like, oftentimes if they're happy, I won't interject.
Yeah.
Sometimes if like, I'm like, oh, this reminded me of something really, really cool. I think you guys might like this. I have a piece of gear that might enhance what I think you're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And we'll try it. And if they like it, they like it.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to do it, they don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I think those are times where I'm just like, I'll put myself in there a little bit. I will say, I think this might enhance what you're going for here.
Yeah.
And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So I listened to that Hungry Bug EP a couple times.
Yeah.
A fantastic job, by the way.
Thank you.
I listened to some of it when you first told me about it, and then like when you played it on the speakers when we came over to visit that one time, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to listen to this whole thing. So that's when I listened to it a couple times. And me not being very good at the details, I was just like, whoa, this is incredible.
Thank you.
What would you say? So if we're thinking about this big picture for them, and I still haven't seen them live, I'm like really kind of frustrated. I missed the opportunity to see them at Calypso.
You guys got to play with each other sometime.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
100%. I know, and I missed them playing with Careless Flight and People Psychologic at Calypso.
Yeah, it just happened like last week.
I
or something.
know.
Yeah,
I had a company dinner I had to go to, and I was really trying to go see that show. I was really mad about that.
Yeah.
Work stuff. Yeah, it's always interfering.
Well, they'll play again.
No, obviously they will.
Yeah.
Especially with the talent that's there.
Yeah.
You recorded them. You worked with Hungry Bug. What would you say? Gosh, I don't even know what to necessarily ask. What would you say was like their impact? What was the emotion? What do you think their music is maybe communicating when you listen to it? And it doesn't even have to be the whole EP, because maybe each song is communicating something different. Probably is communicating something different. But maybe a specific song that pops out to you that's like, whoa, that communicated this to me when I heard it.
What's funny is like, when I first talked to Chemo, there was no plan of like me doing their record or anything, because they did their first record by themselves.
Oh, no way.
Right. And but he wanted my advice. He wanted me to come into the space and see, the recording setup, and see what could be better. So I came in, right, and I saw the space. And I gave him some pointers, right? I'm like, oh, this would be really cool, or this would be really cool. And then I left, right? And then they came back to me and they were like, okay, we want a little more of your help, right? And so it just kind of like organically kind of grew like that. Like, okay, like we want you to help you like record drums this day. And then like it grew into just more and more parts. So actually like oftentimes in this process, like they were already prepared to make their record.
Yeah.
And I was like taking a bit of a back seat a little bit.
Oh,
right?
wow.
It was actually like for the raw tracks, they knew what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And if somebody knows what they want to do, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm just going to get great drum tones. I'm going to get guitar tones, right? And I'm going to make sure you guys are happy with it, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't, they knew what they wanted to do. And they were good. They were prepared to record, because I think like they probably learned a lot in the process of recording their first record by themselves. They were prepared to record.
Yeah.
Right? So I was just like, okay, the first few sessions, we got basic tracks. We got drums, we got guitar, we got bass. And they were happy with all the tones, right?
Yeah.
And then we started talking about creatively kind of what they're going for a little bit. I mean, we got all these tones that we like, but creatively what they're going for. And they started bringing up the OCs, right? And they were like, we really like this sound. Yeah. And I listened to the OCs, some of the stuff that they wanted me to listen to, and what I heard was amp vocal sounds, right? Like it was just this cool, like it sounds like a vocal like distorted through an amp.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was like, okay, I feel like this is really important, so I'm going to propose to you guys putting vocals through amps.
Yeah.
Right. And so like I recorded the vocals, and all the vocals we recorded, I used, I used a condenser microphone. And then I used, just to get a clean signal. And then I used a lo-fi microphone. And I took the lo-fi microphone, I ran it through my Princeton reverb. And it was just this like really, really ampy sound. And then I mic'd up that amp with like vintage like 70s like tape mic or something, right? And I just ran all the vocals we took the vocals, I ran all the vocals we did through amps, in some way or another. Like in some way or another, the whole album vocals went through amps in some capacity.
Yeah.
Right. And then like throughout the process, I just started, naturally with the sessions, hanging out with the guys more, getting to know them. And at some point, I realized that they are not afraid to get weird about things.
Yeah.
And a little bit different. Like, okay, like we started doing some things that were not like OCs, right? I got the Vamps thing, I got the garage rock sound, but we are doing some things that are not like OCs. We are, taking, I have like any weird sounds I got out of my studio. Like sometimes I'll get radio interference and I'll record it, or I'll run it through different like weird like little effects or something.
Yeah.
I have all these like tapes, cassette tapes lying around that I've gotten off like Marketplace, where like we will just like run through them like boom, 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 boom. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is interesting. And I ran it through like pedal boards and stuff and got these weird sounds. I'm like, oh, it would be cool to just drop these in. Just drop them in, right? Just like that. And they loved it. They just were like, they're all about being weird. Or like, this one point, I want the whole thing to stop and sound like a CD is skipping, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, this is really fun. And you're not afraid to be weird. And so like wherever I could, I was just like, how about we try this? How about we try this?
Yeah.
I'll run this through like, tape preamps or something. I'll run this through a cassette. I'll run this guitar solo through a cassette, and then I'll put this reverse delay on it, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, okay, we can really, really have fun sonically with this.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it started off very, very straightforward. Like, these are the tones you guys like?
Yeah.
And I'm just capturing it.
Yeah.
And then like you showed me OCs, amp vocals. Like, okay, this is really, really cool. Let's go. And then getting to know the guys. You like this? Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like how things progressed.
Okay, so having gotten the opportunity to actually get to know them better too, and listen to the songs and listen to their sound, what would you say, like, how would you describe, like, if somebody was like, hey, like, what's this band like? And they're talking about them, like, their sound and everything. How would you describe that to someone?
I don't know. I mean, like, I hate to be a spokesperson for them because
and you're not. I just as an audience member, like, let's say,
I would say they're very unpredictable. They're unpredictable in a very fun way.
Yeah.
Right. They're just like, they do what they want, and it can be completely random. Right? Yeah. And they're fun, quirky guys.
Yeah. Because I listen to it, like, there's some aggression there, but there is some spontaneity.
Exactly. It's not like full on hardcore the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like Chemo is a very like, he's a character.
Yeah.
And when he was doing the vocals, he was doing some different characters basically.
Yeah.
And I told him during the vocal session, I'm like, be that character. Just like let it out.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be whatever you want to be. I don't even have to understand what you're going for right now.
Yeah.
Just be whatever kind of strange thing you want to do.
Yeah. It's having fun in a very literal sense, actually.
Yeah, it is.
That's amazing.
And that's I don't know. I think that's the best way to make music.
Yeah.
Is to have fun.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, the recording process can be very boring at times.
Sure.
And it could be very like stressful at times.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're making music, and I'm recording you.
Yeah.
You know?
What? Yeah. Like, if you're trying to like help, like if a band came to you and they were like, hey, we've got these songs written, and I know this is all very hypothetical.
Yeah.
It would have to be very particular to what those people, like what their songs sounded like. But let's say they came to you and they were recording and they were like, hey, we have these songs, but we're not really sure what we're going for. And maybe they're just like really indecisive and they're like, hey, we're trying to find our sound. What would your recommendation for them be? Like, how could you maybe help them find their sound?
I would sit them down in my studio and I'd be like, okay, do you have any recordings of you guys? Demos from practice, videos. Let's just see what this is.
Yeah.
What does it currently sound like? What this is?
Or maybe play live, maybe.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and we start there, and sometimes it'll remind me of something. Like, oh, it reminds me of something, and I'll ask them like, what kind of music do you guys like?
Yeah.
And what are these songs about? Right?
Yeah.
Do you like these tones? And sometimes it'll remind me of something. I'll be like, oh, does this resonate with you?
Yeah.
I'll play something. Does this resonate with you? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And we start just kind of painting a little more of a picture of like what we could be going for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's interesting. It really does kind of go back to what we were talking about before, where it's like you really do have to find a baseline of like, what do you like? Who are your inspirations? Who are the people that you're imitating in some sense?
Yeah.
And let's actually lean into that for a second so we can get something on the canvas, let's say.
And now what makes you different?
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Then you start to see a picture for them.
Exactly.
It's like the imitation is maybe getting paint on the canvas, and then once you start to see the paint on there, you're like, oh, that kind of looks like this other thing. Maybe we should lean into that.
It's completely okay to be inspired by somebody. We all are.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
We all are, and that they are in a sense a part of you.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah. It's kind of almost like we're not the same people as our parents, but they still are part of us.
Absolutely.
And whether that's nature or nurture or whatever, the environment. Do you mind checking that camera really quick?
Yeah.
I almost forgot. So let's say you were going to be like, oh, you've got to listen to this band Hungry Bug. What's a song you would recommend somebody to listen to? And again, it doesn't mean that the song's better than any of the other songs, but it's like, oh, you should check out this one. Just in general, not even from a mixing standpoint. Maybe it's from like, hey, I think this really captures their sound, or hey, this one's fun, or just in general, like, you should just check out this one.
My personal favorite is Kugelblitz. It's the very last one.
Okay. And also, I'm a dumbass. I said EP, and this is like a full-blown album, by the way, for anybody watching this.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. My personal favorite's the very last one.
Yeah, and so what I want to do is I want to play a little bit, and then I want, like, again, clearly you're not a spokesperson for the band. You were just letting them, we've already said you were trying to let them do their thing. That's what you wanted to do, and maybe be an invisible, like, helper in the process.
But also, like, if I recognize they want to be weird, I'll bring out my weirdness.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe they'll like it.
Yeah. So just even as an audience member, as maybe we listen to parts of the song, and maybe you can tell me what parts that you particularly like, because we won't listen to the whole thing.
Yep.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So let's go to
whatever you want to do.
Kugelblitz. So where should I start from the beginning, or is there like a part in the song that
I love this recording so much, and I can tell you about like everything that happened.
Okay,
right.
Let's hear it.
I mean, we can walk through this.
Okay,
right?
okay.
The first thing you hear is the bass.
Okay.
On this record, the entire record.
Is it going to be weird if I play it at the same time, or is that going to be distracting?
Maybe we can like go in and out, because I can go on and on, I think.
Okay.
But like,
so it starts off with the bass.
Yeah.
You let me know when you want me to stop, I guess.
Okay, hold off right here.
Okay.
So it starts off with the bass. The whole bass on this entire record, no bass amps were used. Not one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nope. So it's all direct in.
It wasn't all direct in, actually.
Oh.
Like, so we have this dark glass pedal that I got a DI from.
Oh.
And then we ran the signal through two little guitar amps that I got from a pawn shop. Shitty little fucking amps.
Why?
And I put a ribbon mic on it because I like the sound of a shitty amp.
Nice.
And I was like, maybe you guys like this too. Because Cameron's amp was broken at the time. He was getting repaired. So I'm like, shit, we don't have a bass amp. Let's just do this, right? So I have like this dark glass pedal, which is like, same thing I used on the first session with you guys. It has this aggressive sound. And then I ran the signal through a couple shitty little pawn shop amps. I like the sound of a shitty amp.
Yeah.
So that's where the bass sound came from. And the bass sound's great. I love
it's sick.
The drums were recorded in their literal garage for this song.
Wow.
Right? So like it wasn't even done. Half the drums were at my place, half the drums were at their place.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so like in this track, it ended up being the take where they did in their little garage.
Wow.
And it was just at their place. It was kind of like I was telling him, like, he was asking me for advice, like, well, look at your garage. Your garage sounds fucking good. You like garage music. Your literal garage sounds fucking awesome. You need to record drums in here. Okay, continue.
Okay. All right, so we're going to keep playing.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let you drive, and you can tell me if you want me to skip ahead, too, if there's a part.
Okay. Then the vocals come in. A number of different layers of amps and close vocals.
I'm going to pause it. I love whatever character that he's doing there. It's amazing.
I don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you are doing something.
Yeah.
Do it.
It sounds great. It's well, and yeah. We'll have to come back to that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Should I keep playing?
Sure.
Oh, the drums garage. That's crazy. That bass is.
It's composed really nicely too. Like the guitar, the bass, and the drums are all like playing at different points. Like they're not always all at once.
Yeah.
And it really breathes.
The thing that I like about the vocals, it's got this Marilyn Manson thing a little bit going on.
Yeah.
But also, did you ever listen to Our Lady Peace?
No.
Oh man, I've been listening to them a lot this year and last year. I don't know, they're really cool. Like early '94, I think was the first album. Like kind of like later '90s, early 2000s. And the he's such an interesting voice. Kind of sounds like Smashing Pumpkins a little bit, Billy Corgan. But he does a lot of he'll do a lot of falsetto, flips.
Yeah.
And it just sounds so he gets so much emotion out of his voice by just kind of doing this weird flip thing. And I don't know, what's the singer's name again?
Chemo.
What Chemo is doing, it has a lot of character that reminds me of the singer from that band. And there's some Manson stuff too. And I just love what he's bringing.
On the last phrase there was I made an additional track and I pitched the formant down, which it's like a form of the pitch or whatever, right? But and so that's why on that last phrase you have this guttural devilish thing that comes in at the end there. But it's a little low in the mix, you don't always hear it unless you're kind of listening
in his voice, you mean?
Yeah, on the vocal.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay, no, I guess not.
You're good.
Okay, all right, where are we going next?
Well, we can go to maybe the last minute and a half. It kind of showcases the fun that we were having, right? Because it was a combination of ideas that I had and their idea, right? So their idea at the end, I mean, this was done in 2 takes. They did the ending and they did the main track, right? The ending was recorded as a separate take.
Oh, okay.
Right? And what they wanted to do was the ending, they were playing this part. They wanted to speed up the entire mix, right?
Okay.
And make it sound like a tape was speeding up, right?
Oh, okay.
There was that goal the whole time, right? And I'm like, okay, but we need, I transitioned the 2 parts. I just pushed them into each other.
Yeah.
I'm it would be nice to have something to bridge the gap between these 2 parts, right? And so, it was just one day in my studio. I was going through a bunch of different like cassettes. I think I had like, and I was just like, and one had like this like classical music on it, right? So like we were doing some shit to the classical music. We like pitched it a little bit. I was running through a pedal board. We pitched it. I put like a bit crusher on it. We put like a bit crusher on it, and we were just doing some shimmering like reverbs on it, like stuff like that. And like I just basically just put it over. It wasn't even the same key. I just put it over, right? And you know, sometimes I mean I could like melodyne it, like put in the same key, but we just put it right up there, and it was just like this interesting sound that helps transition, right? And then they go into the part, and then we design this whole this last part of it to really like speed up like a tape, and just threw in more artifacts and had fun with it. So I just really like how that ending part came together. I think it's like the last like minute 40 or minute and a half or something.
Help me find it.
Before that.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, play from there.
Okay, cool.
You can just let this play through.
Nice. So this is kind of like the latter half of the song here.
Yes.
That's guitar?
That's guitar. There's the sample.
That's a classical music track, or?
From a cassette that we fucked up.
Oh wow, it's very like ethereal, like otherworldly. That's great.
I love how that came together.
I was like, because I heard the classical music or whatever. It sounds like almost like
I don't even fully remember what it was.
It almost like, sounds kind of alien or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. I was like, is this the new take that you were talking about? But it's kind of, yeah. It flowed like
it was just a layer.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was just the guitar feedback feeding, into between the two takes. It was just feedback into the new take, right?
What is Kugelblitz?
I don't know.
You never asked?
Maybe I asked at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be a question for him.
Do you I'm not looking at the lyrics, but I'm like, I don't know, like when you listen to that song, what do you feel? Like what does it make you feel?
It just makes me feel interested. I don't know, like oh, this is. I just find it very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And fun. And I think I tried to put it together in a way that somebody else might find it interesting.
There's something like
it sounds like something that's uniquely them.
Yeah. It sounds like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the track and I'm like, there's something, because like the vocals are aggressive, but there's something snarky about them that it's not quite comedic, but it's like
it has a sense of humor.
There's like an irony about it.
Yeah.
And then it gets like, I don't know. I'm just imagining like a wasteland landscape and just something that's like, yeah.
I can see that.
There's something apocalyptic, and it's like maybe the band members or the character who's telling the song, telling the story, kind of knows that we're headed towards destruction and maybe doesn't really care. I don't know, but I'm getting this emotion from that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting take.
Very fascinating. And it's telling a story, and it's like, whoa. Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just tried to bring the idea out.
Yeah.
And I just really like how it came together, and I did what I can to
help
bring the idea out and bring all the cool stuff that I have in my toolbox, you know, and it ended up being this, like it's an apocalyptic feel with a sense of humor a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do Careless Flight single. I want to talk about that
Sure.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Monuments. So, how should we do this? Should we just listen should we listen to some things and then we should talk about it, or do you want to talk a little bit about kind of like you and Doug getting together to record it?
Whatever you want to talk about, it doesn't matter to me.
Like, I guess he came to you and was like, "Hey, let's just record. I've got a couple singles that I want to
Actually,
record."
like, I mean, I've been building up my studio for a while, and I knew Doug like before I was like recording a lot out of it, and
I think he told me you guys met at Epicure. I think
Epicure or something like that through that crowd.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I knew Doug for a while, and he knew I had a studio, but I wasn't really like doing as much recording it, when I first met him. And it got to a point where like, okay, I want to take on more projects. I knew Doug was in a band. I knew they had recorded before, and I came to Doug and I was like, "Do you guys want to record with me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to."
Oh yeah.
So they came over. I mean, we planned it out a little bit. They came and did it. And like with you guys, I kind of like tried to consciously pay attention to what they liked.
Yeah.
And Doug, it's a very like big rock, classic rock,
Yeah.
kind of feel a little bit.
100%.
And he really likes bands like Rush,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like I'm basically just gonna record this like I would a big rock band,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I set things up in a way.
It sounds huge. It's
Thanks.
massive.
I was doing something a little different at that time, I think. Like at that time I was utilizing actually, that bathroom next to my basement?
Yeah.
There? Yeah.
Wait. The one that we were all using in the basement? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one we were all using.
Yeah.
I would mic up the bathroom. I would leave the doors open and I would mic up the bathroom
No way.
to get a reverberant sound out of there.
And you were doing that with a guitar amp?
I would do it with guitar amps. Actually, with Hungry Bug, like I all the vocal amp sounds, a lot of it came from an amp in the bathroom there.
Oh, wow.
But with Careless Flight, when I recorded the drums, the room sound came from the bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I have the room mics like kind of like towards the back of the room there, but when I recorded this, the drum mics were in the bathroom, and it was kind of an interesting sound. It just sounded early Reflections kind of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so like, and then it was just approaching it like trying to get those classic kind of tones that I figured Doug might like.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try to listen to
Sure.
some of this. I'm sure guitar tone was like a big thing for him too. Although he worked on that a lot himself.
Well, he has this guitar and his board set up, and I had the amp that he likes to use.
Yes.
So I just put it on through, and we liked what came out.
We listened to this song when it came out because we were playing that release show, and we
Yeah.
were coming back from Lancaster because we had played that music festival out there.
Yeah.
And we all listened to it in the car, and Nick and I stopped at his house for a break before we went to the gig, and we were both like humming it because it was stuck in our heads. We were like, dude, the song is like catchy, bro. Like,
Yeah, it was fun to be a part of.
so this to me seems a little more like straightforward. Like you've got your bass, your drum, and your guitars.
Yeah.
So it really was just getting the tones that they wanted, I guess.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like, that's what they like. Like, it's like, I'm going to make this like a big rock song. Actually, the very beginning, if you go back to the very, very beginning, that weird synthy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, like, this. That's a little place where I put a little thing in there, like, and saw if they liked it, and they did like it.
Yeah.
But what that is like, at one point in the song, Doug goes, it's like bum bum bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da, bum bum bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, during the guitar.
Yeah,
part.
during that little part.
Yeah.
I basically took that guitar part and I reversed it and put a shimmering reverb on it, and that's what's at the beginning.
Oh, that's not like a synth.
It's not a synth.
Oh, that's wild.
It's Doug's guitar.
Oh, you know what's funny? Did you do that when you had like the intro that you recorded for the release show? Did you do that or?
Yeah, their introduction.
Yes.
Where they were going on stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
And was that also guitar tone stuff too?
No,
or?
that was all synth. Right. So like,
okay.
And that was a whole separate thing. That was really, really fun.
They came in separately to do that, right?
Yeah, and it was just Doug. It was just Doug and me.
Yeah.
Right, where it's just like Doug came in, he's like, I have this chord progression that I want to play on synths. I have a female vocal thing that I want to do, and I have some samples, and I want to build this introduction, and we're gonna like go on stage to this. I'm like, okay.
Wait, so who sang the vocal part?
It was our friend Al. Yeah. Our friend Al, and she came in, and actually, like, her leg was broken when she sang it.
Oh no!
She was on a cast. I did not expect that. Right? I was not like, I didn't anticipate that. I'm like, okay, well,
no! How'd you get down the stairs? Oh, she didn't have to. I guess
she went slowly.
Oh, she did go down the stairs.
She did go down.
I was
gonna
say because you record the vocals upstairs.
Yeah.
So.
I had the microphone set up. I was gonna record upstairs, but I think like we ended up deciding just to do it downstairs.
Oh, good. Well, you saw she had a broken leg. You were like, oh, well, now we have to do it downstairs, so you have to walk down the stairs.
I don't even remember why we decided, but as a group, I guess we decided to do it downstairs. I don't even remember why, right? But like, so she went down the stairs very, very slowly and sat down. And at first she tried standing up and doing it, but it's a little more comfortable when it's sitting down. I'm like, okay, I can just sit down. I'll put the microphone in front of you, right? And we'll just record this.
Yeah.
Right? So then we did, right? And so that was that, and we got it, right? And with all the synths and all that stuff, I mean, like, I have that wall of synths, and I just...
Oh my gosh, yeah, the wall of synths.
I look for any excuse to fire up that machine because, like, I've spent so much time and effort, like, building it and having fun with it because I love synths.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, we're going to have fun today, Doug, right? And so, like, he's like, I have a progression. I'm like, okay, play the progression on the Prophet and get a tone that you like, right? He played it, got a tone that you like. And I have all those synths hooked up USB MIDI. So I recorded not only the tone that he got, but the MIDI track, right? So I took the MIDI track and I was like, okay, now run it through other synths and find tones that you like.
Yeah.
And so we put it through the Nord, we put it through this and that. And he just went through and picked tones that he liked.
That's cool.
And then we printed it again.
Yeah.
Right? And then we stacked it and we got this thick synth sound, right? And that was really, really fun. And, he just gravitated towards certain things he likes. I mean, he's kind of like a Rush-inspired guy.
Yeah.
So, I think he gravitated towards, like, organs and, like, these, organ pipey kind of sounding things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I want him to... Because when I heard that at the live show, the intro, I was like, dude, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would love them to, like, I don't know, that be maybe the intro to the song, maybe if they do an EP or something. But he's got another single that you guys did that is coming out. When is that coming out again? I'm
not sure. Whenever they decide to do it. The mix is done. They just got to send it to the mastering engineer.
Yes. Got it. Yeah, I think it would be a great, like, maybe like short track or something intro to the song because it sounds super dope.
Well, whatever they want to do with it. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Well, I want to find that guitar part that you were talking about. It was...
Yeah, I think it happens after the second chorus.
Okay. I think it's coming up.
That's it. That's the part I reversed.
Now, that's such a cool part. Oh, I love that bass slide too.
I boosted the bass in that part just a little bit. Like, okay, let's fucking go.
With the was there? So there was a reverb on the guitar that you reversed or something?
Yeah. So like I took that track, right? I put a shimmering reverb on it, right? And I put the reverb pretty much like all the way wet. Like, like mostly what you hear is reverb.
Yeah.
And I printed it as that, and then I reversed it.
That's cool.
And that's it.
That's awesome.
And then it's just like, okay, because I don't know. It was just, I thought maybe the track could use something like at the very beginning there, and I just like, I'm like, I did this thing, I sent it to them, and I was like, okay, here's a version of the mix without it, and here's a version of the mix with it, and they were like, we like it with it. Cool.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I'm trying to think. When he first played it for me, when he came over and we did the interview, he played it afterwards, and I was just like, I was really blown away, and I was just like, what? Like, everything just sounds so huge. I mean, the drums and the bass, and the guitars. I mean, it's just, and the vocals, just like it cuts through really nicely.
Thanks.
I don't know, like that chorus is just very. It's just very after the.
I love that guitar solo too. Doug did a great guitar solo.
And how much of that was written out or planned out beforehand, or was he improvising?
0%.
Yeah.
The solo, none of it.
I think I remember him saying that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just kept playing the part, and he kept trying.
Yeah.
Until like we got somewhere that he liked, basically, and that we both liked. I'm like, damn, like, you know. I mean, the only input I was going in, I was like, dude, let's, you know, you could be even nastier. Like, let's be fucking nasty.
Yeah.
You know? Like, because he's really, like, good. He's a very emotional player.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Watching him live, that is super apparent.
Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, just, like...
want to capture some of
that. Be
that.
nasty.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Yeah. Oh, and I also want to say, like, you know, the mastering engineer did a great job on this. You know, it's just like, I love a good mastering engineer. Because, like... they can take a mix and just like smooth certain things out. It's like a similar thing. Like they're invisible.
Yeah.
You almost can't even tell they're doing anything. But like sometimes like a mastering engineer, like they'll just smooth the thing out. Like if I'm questioning a little something about the mix, they'll smooth it out. But also a bad mastering engineer will fuck it up. You know, it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why like a good mastering engineer is very, very important. And this guy did a good job. Matt LaFleur, I believe is his name.
Wow.
Did a very good job.
Very cool. Okay, we talked about this already a little bit, but I want to hear a little bit about the story of the creation of this song here.
Okay. You son of a bitch.
He knows what it is exactly the minute. I was like, I wonder if he'll know, like, right off the bat.
So muddy. Actually, the snare sounds pretty good.
I love the sound of the snare. That's really cool. I wonder if I just like really reverby snares. Dude, I'm legitimately not fucking being like, I don't know, fucking brown nose here. I love the attitude that Brian brings to this track. It's so great.
It was fun. Yeah, we were having fun.
How did this happen again?
Oh, I mean, like, you know, Brian just, you know, he was into rapping, right? He was just like, he was just practicing his rapping.
Yeah.
We were living together, and like, I was just like kind of like learning how to record a little bit and just getting more and more involved in the process.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wasn't like, you know, I was just trying things out, right? And so like, I was like, okay, like, why don't I just make a track for you to rap over? So like, you know, I laid down drums. I think I recorded them live or something, and then like,
nice.
And I mic'd them. I didn't really quite know how to mic them. Like, you know, I just kind of mic'd them like roughly, like, you know, where I thought they ought to be, right? And like, and then I just recorded the other parts. Like, I think the bass might have been DI or something. And then I just kind of like messed around with it, like with saturation, stuff like that. And then the guitar, like I just kind of like mic'd a guitar cab and added some effects. I'm like, okay, I got a track. Now rap over it. And so like Brian sat down and just like had a handheld mic and he just rapped over it with headphones. And like, that was it. I mean, like, it was fun. It was just a fun, silly thing that we did. Yeah. And, you know, it would be interesting. I wonder if I still have the mix. Like, maybe I can go back and do it or something.
Oh, that's funny.
That would be interesting.
He, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of context. I don't know if anybody's going to care about this at all, but Mike and I met through our mutual friend, Brian, who's an actor friend of mine. And actually, I just realized this. Brian and I have never been in a performance together.
Yeah, you more of a work friend, really, right?
Yeah. We met at Not Your Average Joe's restaurant in Reston Town Center. And we used to work together all the time. We got really close at working there, and that's how I met you because you'd come in and visit.
Yeah.
But we bonded over just like being actors and doing theater and movies and stuff. But I've never been in a performance with him. We did come over your house that one time.
Do a video, right?
Oh my gosh,
you guys
that's
did a
right.
video.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We also were practicing monologues for audition, I remember.
That's right.
Which was super fun because you were giving us feedback on our monologues, which was super fun. That was super helpful too, actually. Because it was just like, let's just have like somebody who just has it like, and just as an audience member, like which one do you like better?
Yeah.
With like, not that like, you know, you don't have good taste or anything or you don't know technique, but it's like, I just need someone as an audience member to just tell me what they like.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, like, you know, when it comes to art, you all have your own eyes and ears, and like, you know, it's like getting feedback from somebody about a song that doesn't play music.
Yeah.
Their feedback matters.
Yeah.
Right? Because they listen to music and they have taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And but it's so funny because he used to tell me that he did a little bit of rapping, and oh man, I wish you could have been there when he played this song for me for the first time because he was all very coy about it. He was like, I made this track with like Mike, and you know, we were just kind of messing around, and this just kind of happened organically. But he's like, I just kind of want to like, he's like, oh, let's just like play it, like, and like he put it on, and like I was like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just like listening to it, and I'm looking at him, and he won't make eye contact with me. He's just like driving. He's just like driving around, just like pretending like it's the most normal thing in the world. Because I could tell he was like really shy about it. But I was like, I was like, bro, this is. Why don't you do this more?
Yeah.
Like you should do this more.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know. You could say whatever you like about it, but like I don't mean you specifically. But it's just like his like.
It does have a vibe for sure.
It's just fun.
The sounds are interesting. I can hear my spirit in there, like just messing around with weird stuff.
Reminds me, he's doing like a Chili Peppers thing a little bit.
Yeah, like a bit of a New York thing going on or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like,
it actually, like, I'd be interested to go back in the mix, see if I can make this better. I cannot believe you have this.
Oh my God.
That is so crazy.
I can't remember how I got a hold of the actual file. I think he had to give it to me in order for me to play it.
You just blew my mind. I cannot believe you have this.
Well, because I had this fantasy that I was going to have you in here and then somehow convince Brian to be on here too, even though like,
oh my God, it'd be great
it's
to
kind
have
of
him
unrelated. I know it would be so much fun. It would be so great if we could get you, Grisha, and Brian in here and all four of us just fucking around.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But I wanted to like, I had this fantasy that I was going to have at least you guys in here and then I could play that song for you guys. But I just, oh man, it's just so funny. But I want to tell him like, I don't care that that's just like literally you guys just fucking around. Like I don't know if he's interested in playing around with that anymore, but I think he should because I think it's fun, man. Like
100%. Like, yeah, I think he's a really funny guy and he's a character and like, and he's just, you know, it was fun to just make something with him.
Yeah.
You know, he was interested in just rapping over track. I'm like, let's do it.
And that's one of the things that I really do like about his delivery in this song is like, I can't tell if he's doing it kind of with like a little bit of humor or if it's like, oh no, this is just like really just me. I feel like that's how he is in life, actually, where it's just like you'll be talking to him and it's like, are you being serious or are you joking?
Yeah.
And I feel like the song has got some of that a little bit, like, or at least his performance in it, and it makes it fun to listen to because it's like, is he trying to be funny or no? Maybe it sounds kind of like he's being authentic. Like I'm seeing some.
I don't even know anymore. I just tried to build something interesting and like put a rap over it.
It's great. Yeah, it's just so much.
Thanks, man.
It's so much fun. You know, like that's what I don't know what it is that anybody's trying to do with that track, but it's so much fun to listen to. Like I played it for somebody else randomly, and they were like, "Wow, this is cool." Like you know, like
wow. That is crazy. Yeah. I haven't heard that in years.
It's great, man. We got to get together with him. We really got to
yeah.
We really got to.
It's been a while.
Figure something out. I got to reach out. It's been too long. It's been too long.
Yeah. I know. He's a you know, when I do hang out with him, it's always the best time ever.
Yeah. Okay. The last kind of thing, I guess I'll just kind of ask you, and I don't want to put you on the spot. But I guess just kind of out of curiosity, this is more of like a genuine question because I think like Nick and I are wondering, we're trying to figure out what our sound is and what our voice is. Like having recorded some stuff with us and hearing some of the songs that we've done with you, what do you think are some of the things that, I don't know, like, I guess there's a couple questions here, are like most genuinely us? What does like our sound kind of remind you of? Because we are trying to capture what's most uniquely us. And for someone who's maybe just sort of like, hey, I'm listening to you guys and I'm trying to take what's in your head and put it out of the speakers. I don't know. Do you have any kind of like, I guess what's kind of your feedback been so far in just terms of like sound? Because
that is an interesting question.
People ask me all the time. They're like, what do you guys sound like? Who do you sound like? And I'm like, it's hard, not because I think we're genre breaking or anything. I don't think we are. We're a rock band, right? But saying we're a rock band doesn't really mean anything, right? Like that can mean a million different things.
You can be a rock band and still be you.
Well, yes, but I guess my point is like, if I'm just describing it to somebody, I don't even know how to describe my music to someone else, I guess.
It is an interesting question, and it's not a simple question.
It's not, no.
Right? Because you have your influences, and I hear your influences, right?
Yeah.
But you guys have personalities. Every one of you guys has a personality. You're all characters.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that can come through. Like when we took Nick's guitar solo and we ran it through the Eventide, I just figured it was something he would like.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's not, I mean, like you look at some of your influences, it's not a sound that you would normally hear.
Yeah.
It got a little weirder there.
Yeah.
Right? And I think like that quirkiness, that stuff is really like the stuff to, if you have fun with that and something you like, how far can you go with that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good example too. And that actually really made a pretty big impact on Nick too, because he was like, oh, this guy gets it. Like instead of doing something that's going to make your life easier, let's say, you're just doing this because it's like,
who cares? You're paying me.
Let's Well, there is something to be said where it's like, and I'm not saying you're not doing this, but there is something to be said. I've worked with producers where it's like, okay, what's the best use of our time? Because you're paying me by the hour.
I'll tell you if something doesn't make sense.
Sure, absolutely. But there was something like about it that Nick was like, oh, this guy is willing to try a bunch of different random things that might go nowhere, just to like see how cool it could sound.
Not only am I willing, I encourage it.
Yeah.
Look at our last session.
Yeah.
We did a couple things I've never done before. Right?
Oh, yeah, like the VCR thing.
Well, yeah, the VCR thing. And
That's right.
But John came in with an idea. Like, in this one song, they recorded and stacked the snare like 7 5 times.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, but who am I? I'm not saying no to that.
Yeah.
You want to try this?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Right? So we're like, we just like got the snare drum. We recorded it over the parts that he wanted to do. And then I was like, okay, well, why don't we use different snares? How many do we have in here? 6? Let's use all of them. So we recorded 6 different snare tracks. And it ended up, what it ended up being ended up being a really cool thing.
Yeah.
A really stacked, like, not just but like a, it's like a group of snare.
Yeah.
Just like, it's really from the depths kind of sound.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let's go further.
Yeah.
Let's smash a VCR.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's go further.
Yeah.
Let's smash VCR. I have this VCR. It's a piece of shit. It breaks tapes. I hate it. Let's smash it.
Let's kill it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so we recorded that. We put that over the snare drum. Now it has that, but also something's breaking.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right. And I like to have fun with that kind of stuff.
And
let's do things that are not normal.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. I love that happens in that song too, because that song for me is very much about like, sort of like, I don't know, like the frustration of having to deal with obstacles and like, I mean, because it's literally, the lyrics are literally about like getting into fist fights and like having a temper and getting into fist fights.
Nice.
And like that, there's the struggle of like, okay, I want to beat the shit out of somebody, but also like there's consequences of that because you'll get the shit beat out of you.
Sure.
But then there's also this element of like kind of looking at that scenario from the outside. Sometimes it's like, well, there was a lesson to be learned there, even though it's objectively not a good thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like like killing the VCR, there's something symbolic about that. Like, and
Wow.
the fact that that's in the song too.
How poetic. I didn't even realize it.
I didn't either. Just as you were saying it, I was like, oh yeah, like I hate this piece of shit VCR. I want to kill it. Let's put it in the song. And I was like, oh, the song is kind of about that, and then kind of reflecting and like the shit that we do to ourselves in anger. But then at the same time, there's this element of like, I don't know. I learned something through it too at the same time. So I don't know. I don't know what. Yeah, it just popped into my head just now.
I just love when stuff like that happens, right? Like you just never know. You know, everybody that comes to my door is different, right? You guys are different. You have your personalities. We have our own types of fun during our sessions that is special to those sessions.
Yeah.
And I think like with those different personalities, like yes, we are going for sounds, we're getting tones we like, but we can add our own things that are unique to your personalities, like that. And I proposed that as an idea. I was like, yeah, I feel like it'd be fun, and you guys were into it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I mean, like stuff like that, like you know, really like if you get the urge to do something, even if it's like not something that like you know one of your influences would do. See where that goes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know? See where that goes. I mean, like, you talk about vocalists, like, I was reading, like, Jim Morrison's biography, right? And for a long time, he just learned how to speak before he even sang. It's just like, he developed his speaking voice. And, like, this is how I present and make something very, very, you know, captivating and have you make you pay attention. And then he started singing a little bit more, and he started singing notes, and then he started practicing that. He just like, but what I find interesting is like he practiced how to speak before he sang, because the speaking voice is what is your voice.
Yeah.
That's how you sound every day.
That's so right.
And then you start adding, it's basically you're speaking, but you're adding notes.
Yeah.
I found that so interesting.
Yeah.
Because like that is a way of like extending you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and it's like that. It's just like if you have the urge to do something a little bit different, I feel I have a belief that that's part of you.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
What's your speaking voice? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that goes for all of this, like everything that we said today. Like, how do you sound when you speak?
When a lot of like the process when I was learning how to sing was like, immediately I would change my voice to like sound like somebody else. I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't even sound like me. It sounds like I'm trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
What do you actually sound like?
Yeah.
When you speak? Yeah.
Dude, I think that's a great place to end. There's so much more I want to say, but I think that really puts a cap on it.
I'd love to come back sometime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do this again.
Yeah.